Good morning, Guardians, and welcome to the channel. I'm Unclear, and today we're back with another This Week in Destiny. It's July 2025. Alrighty, This Week in Destiny, we spent many hours watching what our community of creators has to say about the Edge of Fate. After visiting us for a few days at Bungie's headquarters and playing Destiny's latest expansion for the very first time, it is now their time to share what they have experienced with you all. We also have some news on our side, but let's not get ahead of that. We have Edge of Fate hands-on previews, tiers and exotic armor, prophecy arrives, adept rotation calendar, and TWID month. The Edge of Fate impressions are live. A few weeks ago we invited a group of press and players to Bungie HQ so they could play the Edge of Fate ahead of its release on July 15th. We had a great time chatting with them and hearing their impressions firsthand. They had access to the first campaign mission with the Edge of Fate, gear tuning, Armor 3.0, the portal, and more. On Tuesday, June 3rd, they released their first batch of content to the world, and now you can also learn what they have to say. Go and watch them if you haven't yet. Or if you prefer reading, we've got you covered too. PC Gamer and Shack News have previews on their websites too. There are a few key topics as you check their videos. First we have Kepler, the new destination where Edge of Fate takes place. Kepler is home to some new enemy factions, as well as new allies that will help us unfold the mystery that has brought players to this place. One of the key aspects that define Kepler is how Guardians can explore it using new abilities like Meta Spark. Right, and we have a bunch of videos here from it's about how you're supposed to design anymore. So if you haven't watched them, be sure to watch them. Go on explaining the new gear system, how it works, what they've seen, what they touched. It's not bad. This was some pretty cool stuff. Last but not least, we've reworked the set of stats that now got to 200 extra effects and take effect for every point you put into consideration, pushing build crafting to its limits and making every choice matter. What kind of armor you put on will remain crucial, and the new pieces earned when playing Edge of Fate will always drop with 3 high values with 3 said stats. Mix them together to unlock your potential. The best place to test some of these new abilities or weapons we've mentioned will be in the tower's new shooting range. Whatever enemy you want to fight is going to be there, so you can test everything you can think of. That doesn't come out till the update with the splicer area. Answering some of your questions, will we get more vault space? Vault space is not changing in the Edge of Fate, but we do have additional vault space and quality of life features planned for Renegades later this year. Stay tuned. Will I be able to use my current gear? Your current gear is still very viable in the Edge of Fate, and you'll surely use it in the near future when beginning the new expansion, and even in contest mode for the world's first race. At a high level, the new gear we introduce alongside gear tiering will offer new benefits once you start getting involved with certain activities. Armor will have spikier stats and higher total numbers, as well as specific archetypes that will help you put together stronger builds. Same thing with weapons. The higher the tier, the more extra perks and the enhancing options you'll have. Oh, so maybe we'll be gear locked for the raid? Or we won't just be able to get high enough gear tiers to matter. What to see. I put that to the challenge to myself. What new weapon archetypes are coming with Edge of Fate? You've noticed the new spread shot hand cannon A? Tune into our next developer streams to learn more about many weapons coming with the Edge of Fate, as well as their perks and more. What's happening with mobility, recovery and resilience? Check the switch below. Is the director going away? We are focusing on the portal as the main hub for Edge of Fate, but the director is not going anywhere. Players will still be able to access activities and locations through it, and Kepler can be accessed through the portal. What are unstable cores? Unstable cores is a new currency we're introducing with the Edge of Fate that we earn from dismantling high level gear, armor, other sources, and will reset at the start of each 6-month season. We plan to answer your questions regarding the economy changes coming with the Edge of Fate in a future TWID. Gear tiering and exotic armor 3.0. You may have seen a lot of the videos that creators have published 2 days ago So instead of repeating the words, we want to focus on some specific details about ability stats, gear tiering, and how your collection of exotic armor pieces is being brought forward. In our reveal stream, the team spoke to adding depth to armor and gear in general with the launch of Edge of Fate. As part of this, armor stats are getting an overhaul, and some new stats have been created to expand upon your build crafting opportunities. Without further ado, here's the Destiny 2 Sandbox team to dive in the nitty gritty details. Hey there from the Sandbox team. We have a little mountain of changes to talk about over the next few weeks, and you'll definitely be seeing a few of us on the upcoming live streams. With that said, let's just get started with a bit of core stat changes you'll be seeing soon. When you log in to play the Edge of Fate, you'll notice your armor stats have changed, so what's become of your old stats? Mobility is now with weapons. Resilience is now health. Recovery is now class. Strength is now melee. Discipline is now grenade. Intellect is now super. What are these stats and what do they do? Health. 1 to 100 grants 0 to 70 healing when picking up an overpower. Grants 0 to 10% flinch resistance. 100 to 200 shields start recharging more quickly. 0 to 25%. And take 0 to 50% less time to fully recharge. At 100, 0, at 220 additional shield capacity versus combatants, so you really have to speak into it. Melee. Improves the base cooldown of your melee ability. Improves the amount of energy melee gained from external resources and melee regeneration speed scalers from other sources at 0 to 100. 100 to 200 you get a 0 to 30% increase in melee damage. This includes powered, unpowered, and glaive melees. Ooh. Grenade. 1 to 100 improves the base cooldown of your grenade. Improves the amount of grenade energy gained from external sources and any grenade regeneration speed scalers from other sources. At 100 to 200 you get a 0 to 65% increase in damage from your grenade. Super. 1 to 100 improves the super energy gained from damaging targets. It does not change the base cooldown of your super. Improves the amount of super energy gained from external sources and any super regeneration speed scales from other sources. 100 to 200, 0 to 45% increase in super ability damage. That is wild. Okay, so sort that in a second. Class. 1 to 100 improves base cooldown of your class ability. Improves the amount of class energy gained from external sources and any class regeneration speed scales from other sources. 100 to 200 grants a 0 to 40 HP overshield or 0 to 10 in PvP on casting your class ability. Duration is determined by the ability used. Example, Dodge Thruster lasts 5 seconds, Barricade Rifts last 10 seconds. Okay. Weapons. 1 to 100 improves the weapon reload and handling speeds. Improves damage versus minors and majors combatants. 0 to 50% for primary and special. 0 to 10% for heavy. 100 to 200 grants a chance for ammo bricks to be produced to contain more ammo than normal. Improves damage versus boss combatants and guardians. 0 to 15% for primary and special. 0 to 10% for heavy. Bonus damage versus players. 0 to 6%. The stats going away with the new system. We've set to a fixed value for all players. Mobility is fixed to what 30 once was for Titans and Warlocks and 40 for Hunters. Additionally, we have new League Armor mods to adjust this higher. Resilience is fixed to what 100 once was. Recovery is fixed to about around 60 once was. Okay, so everyone gets 100 resilience. Okay. One that I thought was the craziest was super. So if you're a hunter running one-shot Goldie, you have a 45% increase in your one-shot Goldie. That is wild. Ability stats and recharge rates. As part of this major rework, we have tuned all of the base recharge rates of abilities to better align with the way the new stats work. At low stat investment, 0 to 30, your abilities will be recharging slower than they used to. but at a high investment 7100, they'll be recharging faster. Any chunk of energy gains, think Demolish just like perks provided throughout, and energy recharge scalers, think Crown of Tempest, will also now be scaled by your stat investment. At 70, they'll match the live game values and surpass them up to 100 stat. Below 70, they'll give less value than the live game. So if you don't put 70 points into it, they'll recharge slower than what we currently have. If you put up to 100, they'll recharge faster than what we currently have. That's not bad. We believe in that these changes to make the stats more impactful than they have been previously. As while there are now more trade-offs to not investing in a stat, committing to a stat, will allow those that invest in them to achieve even higher potency than before. We hope that this leads to a bit more diverse landscape of build crafting than before. Allowing the players the choice of committing hard to a single ability type, perhaps building to take a bit more Swiss Army knife, while not allowing the choice of both at once. Internal playtesting has shown that a variety of both brand new and old reliable builds shine in this new system. So we're excited to see what you cook up. Now let's shift to an adjacent topic, exotic armors, and how they're going to work in this new stat system. If you find yourself looking at the exotic armor you have now and realize you're going to need a different stat setup when you build, don't worry. It's Armor 3.0's announcement in October. Our plans for exotic have evolved to better support this transition. With the release of Edge of Fate, we'll be updating all new drops of existing exotics to use the new exotic Armor 3.0 system, reducing the amount of time it'll take to get armor with the stats you want. In addition, we'll take Ada 1, who gave reproducing exotic armor a try. The supply may be limited, but most Guardians should be able to focus their choice of any previously acquired exotics with some influence over their stats. Of course, if you prefer to take your time and use the roles you have, they'll get a stat update described above. But don't wait too long. Ada 1's exotic focusing will only be available in the Year of Prophecy. Okay. As for exotic class items, we'll be updating these items directly with stats based on the perks they have on them. If you already have a perk combination you like to keep them, if you're still hunting, feel free to visit the Pale Heart now and get ready for the Edge of Fate. Don't forget Zur either. His wool may not be his own, but it does bring exotic class items for purchase from time to time. We have more details on how this will work, how Ada 1's focusing work, and the way stats will roll for all armor in the future TWID. Prismatic and the Edge of Fate. During our hands-on preview of the Edge of Fate, we shared an early look at Prismatic tuning updated for 9.0.0.0.1. This tuning pass reduced the number of fragments that could be placed on various aspects. As you found the Prismatic subclass, they've been a bit hot since release. Certain Prismatic builds have increased damage output and survivability to a point where some challenges can feel trivial, and bringing up everything else to Prismatic's level wouldn't solve this issue in a healthy manner. We see this conversation about power creep frequently, which is why we take our time to tune things up or down during release timelines. This gives us the opportunity to rein in outliers when new content's coming online. We're still planning an overhaul tuning pass for Prismatic for a future date, featuring buffs alongside other changes. We're changing our approach for the Edge of Fate in a bit in response to your feedback. Prismatic aspects that originally planned to be reduced to 1 fragment slot will remain at 2. We feel this is a good middle ground, where there are some more potent aspects that are being tuned down, but not by too much. Also, we're playtesting this change internally before the Edge of Fate launch to make sure this is in the right direction. Here's a list of aspects per class and planned changes to fragment slots. Right, Prismatic Titan Consecration is going down to 2, Knockout remains at 2. Prismatic Hunter, Style Executioner remains at 2. Ascension goes down to 2, Winter Shroud goes down to 2. Prismatic Warlock, Feed the Void goes down to 2, Feed the Void remains at 2, Helion goes down to 2, Bleak Watcher goes down to 2. With many changes coming to our stat system, gear tiering and armor 3.0, you will see Prismatic as an incredible option for the ad clearing boss DPS focused players among you. We look forward to seeing how you experience Prismatic and alternate subclasses at launch. Alright, Prophecy is on. Prophecy is the featured dungeon of Rhine for 2 weeks until June 17th. How do you enjoy the changes made? Have you been able to complete the Sparrow Road without wiping? How many of your teammates fell to their deaths in the Kala Echo encounter? There are 2 quests to complete during this week in exchange for hollow for weapons, and 1 other waiting next week. That's on top of the rolls you'll be getting when you're completing the dungeons. Try Ultimatum difficulty if you're feeling brave to get some adepts. Next week we'll have increased rewards and drops from enemies tuned on, so save your strength for then. Once we reach June 17th, all dungeons will be unlocked in Rise of the 9, within the first week having increased rewards for all of them. And then the following weeks have one featured dungeon with extra loot. Here's the calendar as a reminder. So next week, June 17th, June 14th, so 2 weeks from now, all the Rise of the 9 dungeons will be available to play at any difficulty. The week of June 17th, increased drop rates for all. From June 24th to July 8th, all dungeons are available, and one will have increased rewards. The first week of that, just by the watcher, increased rewards, then Ghost of the Deep, then Prophecy. Please. The final week before the DLC, July 8th to July 15th, Loot Palooza will begin. Increased currency rewards and weapon drops for enemies in all dungeons. We will turn on a new way to spend non-ordinary manifold currency. Now that Prophecy is available, so are some latest bungie rewards, both Rider 9, Raglan, and the Seeker of the 9 display middle poster are now available at the Bungie store. Complete the required triumphs to unlock them, until July 15th to earn them. The depth rotation calendar. When Edge of Fate launches, edit weapons will be going away in favour of the new tier gear system, but before that happens we want you to be crystal clear when you're able to earn edit weapons for Trials of Osiris and Nightfalls in case you want to complete your collection. So this week is Rake Angle, next week is Shadow Price, then Palindrome, then Plug 1, then Lotus Eater, then Wild Style. For Trials, this week is Yesterday's Question, then Keen Thistle. June 17th, no Trials, we have Iron Banner. June 24th, Tomorrow's Answer, July 1st, Rosary, and 8th is Aisha's Care. Pride Month has begun at Bungie. Celebrate with Pride Colour and Cause. Earlier this week, we were thrilled to launch a brand new Pride Shader Pack bursting with bold, joyful shaders as well with the diversity and vibrance of the LGBTQIA community. This bundle isn't just a fresh way to style your Guardian, it's a way to make a real world impact. While available in-game, every purchase of the Pride Shader Pack, $5.50 will be donated to Advocates for Trans Equality Education Fund, an organisation that works to advance the rights and well-being of transgender people through education, public awareness, and community-based advocacy. There's a shader pack down there. Show your pride, stand in solidarity, and light up the game colour with the purpose. Don't miss your chance to add this vibrant palette to your collection and make a difference. The shader bundle will be available at every store from until July 1st. If you can't get them now, rest assured they'll make a return feature, just not for a while. Pride Month Classics. This is the clickable pin. And then we have the shader. And then you have the Rainbow Connection emote and Into the Rainbow Transmat. That one came out last year, the Transmat. So if you haven't picked it up, I'll have it on screen so you can copy and paste it. Player support report. Seeker of the 9 Triumph update. Earlier this week we fixed an issue with the Rider 9 Seeker Triumph update being tracked on a per character basis instead of being account based. Which says that, but I have only played Warlock and mine was broken. However, we unintentionally reset the earn progress for finding collectibles within the Rider 9 dungeons. The result of this issue will be auto-completing the collectibles earned from Spy the Watcher and Ghost of the Deep for all players in update 8.2.6.4, releasing next Tuesday, June 10th. Progress towards any earned collectibles from Prophecy will also be retained. We have the known issues list, which is the same as last time. Then we have the Artists of the Week. That's pretty nice. And then we have Movie of the Week, which is then playing on a certain monitor. We're getting closer and closer to the edge of fate, and we intend to share more details about what's changing in the following weeks through creators, our own streams, and also weekly TWIDs. Destiny is evolving, as always, and we hope we have shown you so far. What we have shown you so far has you excited. We know Titans are particularly happy with the news that they're getting. I summoned the meow meow. You can click on that. Let's open up. Door cat. Alright, cool. Disney community. That's a pretty big TWID this week. That's really good. These stat changes I'm really looking forward to. I'll be doing more videos when I can get my hands on it to explain it to people and really go over builds for the new system. I'll probably put some builds together for Warlocks. The armor stuff is pretty exciting. You get, if I remember seeing correctly, you get 20 tokens to roll exotic armor with the new system. the new armor stats. They're not going to have gear perks, so I don't think they're going to be tiered. I think they're just going to have better stats. So for my Warlock friends out there, I'll be re-rolling Speaker's Sight, because this is the day one must-have, trying to get the better rolls. I think I know how I'm going to build my Warlock. It'll probably be as much health as I possibly can get, a bit of super, and a bit of weapons. That's really going to be it. Yeah, it's really going to be it. I'm really going to focus on, yeah, just really smashing it through. But we'll try and get as many stats as high as we possibly can. It'll be pretty fantastic. Well, anyway, that was it for this week. This week's TWID. I'll be live on Saturday. We can go for some more stuff. We can chat about it in stream. Anyway, guys, until next time, so thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. Seriously appreciate it. As always, stay safe. Take care. Bye for now.